Good morning, my little caterpillars and butterflies. This is Heather, the Butterfly Effect Raw Food Extreme Weight Loss. And today I want to talk about eating clean in a dirty world. So imagine there's this poor guy and he's addicted to crack. And that's a horrible, destructive, very addictive substance. And he's doing really well and he's stopped doing it, but he's really hanging on by by his fingernails. He's kind of white knuckling it, trying to get off of his addiction. The problem is, on every street corner, just constantly, there are all kinds of different crack vendors, and they sell different kinds of crack, and they, make it look really great. And they're constantly telling him how wonderful it is. And on television, every few minutes between his favorite shows, there's an advertisement for crack. Buy our crack. And okay, that's ridiculous. Of course, we wouldn't allow that to happen, but that's what it can be like for a person who's addicted to food. And that's the kind of world we live in. We live in a world where everywhere you look, there's something that can get someone who is trying to eat clean into trouble. And so, how do you live in that kind of world? And what brought this to my mind was because lately I've, wanted to eat out with friends that don't eat like I do. I had a friend who's a very sweet, dear friend who just had a birthday, and every year I take her out for her birthday. And in the past, she's wanted to go to these horrible, to me, steak and seafood type of restaurants. It's a treat to her. And of course, it's miserable to me. The closest thing I can get to any kind of food there was, I think I got an iceberg wedge salad. That was terrible. And a baked potato, and I told them no butter, and they put it on there anyway. They didn't even have salsa. I like to put salsa on my baked potato. It was just not a great experience. So this time, I suggested a place that has a buffet type of restaurant. And she likes these kinds of places. But what was good for me is they had a salad bar, a pretty good salad bar. Now, I could have just avoided going out with my friends so that I wouldn't be subjected to the buffet, because buffets used to be a really big problem for me. Unlimited food and all the wrong food, and you can have as much as you want, and it was a really big temptation for me in the past. But this time and lately, it's been a lot more of an easy experience for me of, well, that's their food and this is my food. It's no different than going to the supermarket. All the stuff in the packages and all the stuff around the outside of the store is their food, and my food is the produce section. And it makes it a lot easier to think of it that way. It's just like it's my corner of the grocery store, it's my corner of the restaurant, is that salad bar. And so I could have avoided having a fun time with my friend, and I chose not to. I could have said, well, I know that salad bar is not organic. I could have worried about what kind of dressings they had available and things like that. Instead, I just made it work. Because right now, this is the world I live in, and until we change it, I have to just learn how to be healthy in an unhealthy world. And that's kind of how it works. So things I like to do are introduce my friends to healthy restaurants. And most of the time they're into it. So that's really good. My kids are totally into it. I have wonderful kids, bragging mom. But I won the lottery on kids, and I don't claim that I did anything right. I just say I didn't screw them up too bad. They were born awesome, and I just didn't mess up too much. Um, but anyway, eat. They've been vegetarian since they were little kids, but they've been willing to go to vegan places and willing to go to raw food places with me, and so they're very supportive and wonderful, and I'm really lucky to have that. I also, my they are away at college, but when they come home, we go out. And when in my own home, I am super lucky because my brother-in-law and my sister rent part of my house. I have like a kind of like an apartment that is built onto my house, and they rent that from me. And they are both learning about eating healthfully and have changed their diets and done a 360. And my sister became vegetarian, and even my brother-in-law, um, he's from Brazil, so culturally not eating meat is a big change for him. But he's been, making smoothies, he's juicing, he's the wheatgrass king. It's just amazing what can happen. So I am really lucky that everybody in my home supports me, and I think that that's really important. I like to say, if it's not in my place, it's not in my face. You can make your home a temptation-free zone, and I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. I know a lot of you guys live with family members that are not as supportive, or they're not there yet. And what I would tell you is, do not force your food on them. Do not tell them you found out how bad chicken nuggets are and they're never eating them again, that kind of thing. I mean, you can do that with your kids, especially if your kids are little, and I highly encourage you to do that. But if you've got teenagers up to, spouses, you have to handle that a lot differently. And basically, don't make a big deal about it at all, but just serve your raw food, and most of it's delicious. Just serve it without any fanfare. Just like, here, I made a salad. You want some? You know, here I made some appetizers, and you can put some pate on some cucumbers, and let them fill up on that without any fanfare and without any, I'm going to impose my will on you. And I think just slowly, as they see you losing weight, or I know that that's happened with me, if it looks good, my kids will eat it. They don't care if it's raw. They don't care if it's not raw. So that's my advice for kind of eating clean in a dirty world. And I choose to still be social and still have fun with people. I don't want my diet, which is a major pillar of my health, but I don't want it to interfere with other pillars of my health. So, relationships and a social life and a support network and stress reduction, all of these things are very important too. And so I don't get stressed out if I eat one meal a week that's not organic. My body has a great immune system. It can handle it for one time. And I get to have that special time with people I love. And to me, that's worth it. So I hope you're having a great week. And why don't we make the challenge today, or the question today, what is your greatest challenge with eating clean in a dirty world? And what kind of tips can you offer me? It's kind of a miracle that I'm doing as well as I'm doing. I'm a little bit waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel really good, and I feel really confident right now. And I hope that maintains. I got 45 years of history that says, it's been really a struggle for me all this time. And so anyway, right now, everything's good. I feel very strong. I'm able to resist temptation. Nothing's calling my name. I'm doing okay. And I'm just going to have faith that it's going to continue. And when it gets hard, I'll deal with that if it gets hard. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.